Hi learners! Today we're talking about rotations in math. This means turning shapes around a certain point. Have you ever spun around in a circle? That's kind of like what we're going to do with these shapes. We are going to learn how to rotate shapes 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. We will also decide if we're turning clockwise, like a clock, or counterclockwise, which is the opposite of a clock. You could also say that clockwise turns to the right and counterclockwise turns to the left. You will discover that once we rotate it, the shape's location changes, but the shape itself stays the same. It doesn't flip or shrink or stretch. Let's start with this triangle on the grid. I'm going to rotate it clockwise. So if you'll see, when I move it here, as we turn it clockwise, this would be 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and a full 360-degree turn. Now, when I'm going to write this down on the grid, because I don't always have a digital resource, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to rotate it around a certain coordinate, and our coordinate we're going to use today is going to be this one. So in order to do that, this coordinate is going to remain there, and we will move the triangle around it. So you need to visualize that if we move this triangle, so if you visualize the turn, the triangle is going to end up looking like this, not on this space because we're going to rotate it around a different coordinate. This is rotating it around the center of the triangle, but just visualize it. This is the direction the triangle will look, okay? It will help you a lot if you have some extra shapes available to you to use as manipulatives on the side so you can show yourself what a 90-degree turn to the right, a 180-degree turn to the right, or a 270-degree turn to the right would look like as you're trying to create this on your grid. Let's start by labeling the coordinates. So this one we have -7, -2. This one we have -7, -5. And the final one we have -4, -5. Okay, so if you have one next to you, this will help you a lot because we are trying to do a 90-degree turn. So it will end up looking like this. But even better if you realize and just watch where this coordinate moves to. That will help you even more. So watch it very carefully. Okay, pay attention to where it moves. Watch it, watch it, watch it. It ends up in the upper left corner, which is right here. So we know our shape is going to end up looking like this. And this corner right here is this one. Okay, so all we're going to do is to rotate the shape 90 degrees. So that means we will draw this line first, which is actually this line here. So if we count from this coordinate to this coordinate, we have 1, 2, 3 spaces. So I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to do it in a different color. I'm going to use yellow for the new shape, okay? So we're starting here, which is actually here. And on the grid, we know this is 3 marks. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. It's actually the same size as our triangle, which makes sense. Okay, so now we have this vertice and this vertice done. Now we just need to find this one. Okay, so to find the vertice, let's draw this one. This line goes from here to here. We know this one is there. We know that we have to find the line from here to here. Okay, and it's actually the same size as this side, so it's 3. So, whoops. So we want to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. Match those up. And then draw the line here, and you are done. All that is left is labeling the new coordinate. But as you can see, this one right here is already labeled. This one right here is already labeled. So all we need to do is label this one, which is going to be -7, and -8. Now you are done. For this one, it is asking us to rotate 180 degrees counterclockwise. So we are going to rotate this rectangle counterclockwise. And as I said in the last video, or in the last portion of the video, it helps a lot to have a manipulative near you of the same shape to help you visualize. So if we're going counterclockwise, does that mean we're turning it right or left? That's right, we're turning to the left. So let's just look at what this would be 90 degrees. So then 180 degrees would be a 1/2 turn. And it's actually going to look the same, okay? So again, 90, 180, 270, full 360, okay? So in order for us to rotate this shape 180 degrees counterclockwise, it's actually going to end up the same. However, remember in the last one, what we did is we looked at which coordinate we were going to rotate it around. So let's go ahead and add the coordinates and you can draw the shape on your page. So this coordinate right here would be -1, 7. This one is going to be -8, 7. This one here is going to be -8, 4. And this last one right here will be -1, 4. We are going to use this coordinate right here. Let me put it in yellow so that it stands out more than the other blue one. This coordinate right here to rotate our shape, okay? So I'm going to rotate this one around and I want you to watch this corner, okay? This vertice. You're not going to, the yellow will not move with it, so you'll really have to watch that corner. Okay, so if I turn this 100, oh, it will move with it, just joking. So 180 degrees. This corner is now the top left. Right now it's the top, it's the bottom right. So our job is to rotate this shape so that this corner ends up where this one is, okay? Which you'll see this one's on the bottom and this one is now on the top. So remember, I'm going to rotate it one more time for you so you can see how it changes as you turn it, okay? So notice, right now, notice the bottom is going to end up on the top, okay? I will give you one more little hint before you try this on your own. So this line right here is actually this line right here, right? Because this is off of this vertice, and you're going to want to travel this way to figure out how far out it needs to go. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do it on your own. If you're not there yet, feel free to keep watching. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, let's do this. So we are rotating this rectangle 180 degrees counterclockwise. So it is going to move this way. Okay, just have that in your head. So we are going to start at this coordinate because this coordinate is rotating all the way around. So this line is now going to be the top of your rectangle as we talked about. So let's count how many spaces it is. So it is from this to the other coordinate. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to go out 7 the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this coordinate is this coordinate's new spot. You see it rotates this way, 180 degrees, okay? So the new coordinate here is going to be 6 and still at 4. So we have one coordinate, another coordinate, and now we're moving down this way. So because as you can see, this swings this way. So let me just highlight those with a different color for you. So this line is going to swing all the way down here. And this line is actually this line, right? Because it already spun 180 degrees around. This, remember, this is what your rectangle is going to look like when you're finished. It looks the same, but we marked up the coordinate we're spinning around. So so we have this one line. Let's make the line so we know where it is. Now we're going to go down and we're going to find what this coordinate would be. So from this coordinate to this coordinate, we're going to count how many in between. So we have 1, 2, 3. You need to make 3 jumps and go down. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Now we all know that rectangles have 2 parallel sets of sides. So we do know where the other coordinate's going to be, but I do like to count it out just in case. So we know that this coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away from this one. Let's count it back. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. And maybe I'll use red to create the actual new rectangle. Sorry, I feel like I just said triangle. If I did, I apologize. Okay, so this is the new rectangle, rotated counterclockwise 180 degrees. Let's just label our coordinates. So this one is going to be 6, 1, and this one is going to be -1, 1. Okay, and there you have it. How did you do? Okay, now you're going to try one on your own. So you have here a triangle. We've labeled the coordinates so you can draw your own. Highly suggest having a manipulative that is a triangle that you can move around and rotate either clockwise or counterclockwise 90, 180, or 270 degrees. In this case, it is asking you to rotate it 270 degrees clockwise, okay? This one is a little bit tricky, as if you rotate it around the bottom 2 coordinates, it won't actually still fit on your grid. So I'm going to give you a little hint on this one, in that you are going to use this coordinate to rotate it around, okay? So do that, try it, and pause the video, try it on your own, and then come back and see how you did. As you can see, it's asking you to rotate this shape 270 degrees clockwise. So that's the same way a clock goes to the right. So let's take this triangle right here and see what it will look like once it's rotated 270 degrees, okay? So this would be 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees-ish. Sorry, it's not perfect, but you get which way the triangle will be facing. So let's move it back to the original space. Let's mark the coordinate we're going to be using to go around. You're going to rotate around that axis. So you'll see that this coordinate is going to move 90, 180, 270 degrees. So it's going to end up this way, okay? Now, what I want you to do is visualize the triangle starting at this coordinate right here, the one that we have marked off, and this one right here, and looking like this on the coordinate plane. So let's try that. So it would look like, these aren't the exact spots, but this is just for us to visualize. The triangle is going to look like that in the end. It's going to start here, go across this way, go up, and then back down, okay? Now, let's do it with the proper coordinates. So we know that this side is going to be along this line here. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to jump 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the new coordinate for this coordinate is going to be 9, -3. Okay, so we're done this one. We've created this one. Now we're going to create this line, and this line is the one that is across the bottom right now. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can just connect all 3 coordinates, but let's label this one first. So this one is going to be 9, 1. Okay, and using your rulers, of course. See, that one was very good. You are going to connect the dots, connect the coordinates to create the triangle. And this is rotated 270 degrees clockwise. Okay, so I always get my students to label theirs. So they'll label which degrees it is, and then clockwise is CW, and counterclockwise would be CCW, just so I can see that they understand it all. Okay, now it's up to you. You can totally practice some more on your own, with a partner, with your class. All you have to do is create a shape on the plane, decide if you're going to rotate it 90, 180, or 270 degrees, whether you're going to rotate it clockwise or counterclockwise, and just practice. Okay, good luck.